Alrighty. So without further ado, unless there are any announcements, then it's 1:15. So we have a lot of time this time to focus on apps for these iOS devices and any other questions that we might have. I'm going to put the microphone right down here. And Mark, you want to start? Sure. Good afternoon. My name is Mark Royman. This is actually the third one of these I've done. Wow. Very, very cool. And it looks like we've got pretty good turnout both here and on the phone. I had a couple apps that I was going to show, but I know Ian had some questions as well. And if anybody else on the call or here has questions as well, definitely chime in with those. There are a number of apps out there for the iPhone. Of course, the App Store has several 100,000 apps. It's fairly nice size. A lot of them are accessible out of the box. Some of them are not so accessible. Some of them you can get to work with a bit of difficulty. But there is an app out there that was. I'm going to bring the speaker down a little bit. Keep going. There is an app out there that was put out a few weeks back called VizWiz. It was actually put out by Rochester. I believe they're in New York. I think associated with the university. Am I correct, Zuhair? Yeah, University of Rochester. But what it does, it lets you essentially take a picture of anything. You can either then you can send that picture to either an anonymous web worker or a couple other sources. Twitter, you can email it to somebody, and you can then have it identified. So if I were to take a picture, if I can find VizWiz here. Let's see, where did I stick it in my phone?
Search icon. Search field. Use editing. Word mode. Mail. 133 new item. Double tap to open. Productivity. Folder.
Can you guys hear that? Is that loud enough or no?
I would say probably not.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can make it a little louder.
Mail. 133 new item. Double tap to open.
Yeah, let me see.
App switcher.
Yeah.
Settings. Double tap to open.
Hold up.
Could they mute their phones when they're not speaking because you get a lot of extra noise on the line and it makes it harder to hear?
All right. So the request from Mike was to mute phones when you're not speaking because they're getting a lot of extra noise on the phone line.
I think that's the people on the conference call.
So Mike, they think it's the folks
It's the folks on the call.
on the call.
It wouldn't be us.
It's star 6 to mute your phone.
Page 1 of column. 84%. Adjustment. 94%. Dismiss app switcher column. 88%. Adjustable. Speech rate. 45%. 40%. 35%. 30%. Adjust value. Characters. Words.
There we go. How's that?
Much better.
Excellent. Okay. So let me find.
Dismiss app switch. Dismiss app switcher.
This
Productivity.
one.
Folder. Double
I
tap
have-
to open.
I have so many apps on my iPhone. I had to put all of them in folders, otherwise I would have no room for them. So all my apps are in folders. So I believe I put VizWiz in my OCR folder.
OCR. Folder.
And
Double tap to open.
if you're not familiar with iPhone navigation, you basically touch around the touch screen, and one touch will give you whatever icon you've landed on. And if you double tap it, if you tap it twice with your fingertip, it will open up either if it's a folder, it will open up that. If it's an application, you will launch the app. But if you tap on the screen and you're not near the app you're looking for, you can flick to the left or right, and it will jump from icon to icon. So if I tap sort of in the middle of my screen,
Relaxation. Folder.
that's not the folder I
Double
want.
tap to open.
So and it said double tap to open. So if I flick to the right,
Search. Folder. Weather. 83 new items. Stored. 2 new items. Travel. Folder. Reference. Folder. Entertainment. Folder. Utilities. GPS and map. Arcade.
and I was not
folder.
near my
OCR.
there
Folder.
it is. So
Double tap to open.
I'm going to double tap on that folder and open it up.
Opening OCR folder. Camera.
And now I'm going to cheat. I'm going to tap near the bottom of the screen and hopefully hit the item that I'm looking for, which is a program called VizWiz.
VizWiz. Double
So-
tap to open.
I'm going to tap that icon twice, which will launch VizWiz.
VizWiz. Disclaimer. Please be aware that the questions you ask with VizWiz may be answered by anonymous people on the web. We cannot guarantee the accuracy of answers and advise you not to ask personally identifying questions. In particular, we advise you not to take pictures of yourself or other people. Boxcar.
That was something that shouldn't come up. Hold on.
Active. Close. Button. Dismiss. Disclaimer. Agree. Button.
So I'm going to agree to the
Agree
disclaimer.
with use of term.
I guess I haven't used this since they updated it. So let me tap on that.
Take a photo.
Now, what VizWiz basically does is you take a photo. It's a three-step process. You take a photo. You actually record a question, so you speak into the iPhone to ask your question, and then you send the question in the photo out. So when
Camera. Button.
okay. So when I record a question, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a picture of maybe I'll use my shirt. That's the easiest item. I did this a few weeks ago with the shirt, and it turns out that the shirt I took a picture of I thought was solid color. Turns out it was striped, which I didn't realize. It was nice. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to double tap on the camera button, which is at the bottom of the screen on VizWiz.
Camera. Button. Camera.
So that should have taken a picture of my
Alert.
shirt. Now,
Boxcar. Back arrow. Back arrow. Close. Button.
why is Daryl
VizWiz.
sending
Recorded.
direct messages? Okay. All right. The next step. So I have the picture taken. So if I now record the question that I want,
Record.
and again,
Button.
record is at the bottom
Start
of the
and stop
screen,
recording.
just above where the home key would be on the iPhone.
Is being recorded.
So let me do a double tap here,
Record. Button.
and it vibrated. What color is this shirt?
Select
So
sources and
what it does when you double tap the record button, it actually vibrates to let you know that it's ready to let you know that it's ready to ask the question. And you can select on this screen. This is the third screen from various sources here. So if I flick, I'm going to tap near the top of the screen and then flick down.
select sources
There
and
it is.
send.
So
Select your
We'll just-
answer sources and upload your question to the web.
we'll just flick through these,
Web workers. Switch button. On.
and that
Double tap
means
to toggle.
I stopped it. But what it means is it says web workers switch button on, which means it will send the question to the web workers. You've got a couple different options here. You've got web workers, you have IQ engines, which is an automatic recognition engine. Omobi uses Omobi is another product that uses the same IQ engine as VizWiz does. You have
IQ engine. Switch button. On. Email. Select an email address. Text field.
so you can
Double
email this
tap to edit.
question. If you have a sighted friend, you can email the question to a sighted colleague and say, hey, what is this?
Twitter. Switch button. Off.
You can email it to Twitter. You can send it to Twitter. My switch on Twitter is off. I'm not going to submit this picture to Twitter.
Back. Button.
So,
Send. Button.
and we'll do a
Upload
send.
your. Please wait while your question is sent.
Now it's sending out that picture and my question to the web workers and to IQ engines, which were the switches that were on in this case. And we'll see if we have any answers.
Web work alert. Unable to send question. Check your internet connection and try again.
That's
Button.
interesting. What happened here? Do I have signal?
Try again.
Hold on.
Button. Web workers. Switch button. On. 5 of 5 bars.
So I have signal strength. Let me try this again.
Send. Dim. Button. Upload your question to the web. Back. Button.
Yeah, it must be. Come on.
So, I found out that if you turn off the IQ engine, it's not a better product.
Oh, really? Ooh. Okay. Ah,
New answers.
okay.
New answers as they arrive.
So
New
it,
answers available.
and new answers available. So it told me new answers were available now. And Zuhair just mentioned that I didn't realize this. That it said if you turn off the IQ engines option, you get a faster response. So let me flick through the answers.
Light blue. Web worker.
So there you go. The web worker, whoever this was sent to on the web, identified the shirt as a light blue shirt, which it actually is. It is a light blue solid shirt. Now, if I flick to the right, it will give me the answer from the IQ engines. Let's see what IQ engines told me this shirt was. It probably said,
Back. New answers available.
Oh. there's IQ.
Shirt button. IQ engine.
Shirt buttons. That's all it said. Is shirt with. I did this a couple weeks ago. The web worker got it right on the striped shirt. All the IQ engines said was that it was a dress shirt with buttons. So I think in future I will definitely be trusting the web workers other than IQ. Although I think for certain situations IQ might be an advantage. But
IQ engine is automated.
yeah, it's an automated search tool.
It is not.
Yeah.
Nobody looks at it. It just basically looks at the picture.
Yeah, it's
and
guessing.
If it looks like a shirt, feels like a shirt.
It's a shirt.
That's not
It's a shirt. Yeah, yeah. But that's VizWiz, a very simple app. Now they're constantly adding updates to this app. They added notifications. So if you take a picture of the item and then you leave the app, they've now added notifications where it'll pop up a little notification when the answers come in.
Chat.
And I'm going to go
Button.
back. They
Select new
didn't. They
answer
haven't
filter.
added
Inbox. Chat. Button.
a.
Light blue.
They unfortunately have not added a way to get quickly back to the home screen on this, so you have to actually tap the back button twice.
Chat. Button. Send. But chat. Button. Record. Record. Chat. Button.
Actually, you have to tap it 3 times now. Though, okay.
Take a photo.
But the abilities of this app. I mean, I know people who have used this on Twitter, and I think Daryl, you may or may not be on. Maybe you're listening to the Ustream because I've seen you send a couple tweets. I know Daryl Chandra has used this to identify things in his kitchen before. I haven't used it for that, but you can use it for that as well.
So I've used it to see if my socks are matching.
Yeah, there you go. That would work.
So are you putting it out to, like, let me get this straight. You're putting it out both to an automated tool and also live for folks to answer?
Yeah, an anonymous web worker. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it does both, and you can switch off any of those. So if you wanted to switch off the automated recognition tool, you can turn that one off and just send it out to the web worker, or you can email it. I could have emailed it to you, and you could have said light blue.
Okay, so when you say web worker, what do you mean? It's somebody who works for this app, or?
No, it's Zuhair, you want to explain that one? That one gets me confused every now and then too.
Sure. It's actually a service run by Amazon called Mechanical Turk. And
That's right.
what it is you've got a whole bunch of people sitting in front of computers getting paid a few cents each time they answer a question. They don't know who the person submitting the question is. All they are sitting here doing is they're answering whatever questions come their way. So that's how that's what the web workers are. They're employed. They've got they make money and they answer
And they're employed
questions.
through Amazon?
Yes.
Okay, and they just answer anybody's questions, not specific.
Yeah, I mean the whole process, the whole thing of Mechanical Turk is it's a paid service which we have access to for free, but organizations use it to accomplish what are called human intelligence tasks. So things that can't be done by the computer that can be done by a human being, like correcting a document. I use the document, for example. I use this app, for example. I look at something and I'll say, you could take a menu, the picture of a menu, and say, is there a cheeseburger on there and how much does it cost? And you've got a human being who's scanning the picture of the menu, and they can actually look at the cheeseburger and at the menu and see if there is one or not. So
Yeah, it's a very, very useful. It's a very useful app. It really, really is. It opens up a lot of possibilities. It really does.
And how much does it cost?
I think it's free, isn't it?
Zero.
Yeah, zero. It's free, Glenn. You can
Is
just.
it free for the blind community?
It's free for
or
anybody
free
who
for
wants to use it.
anybody?
It's an iOS app, so if you have an iDevice that has a camera, I'm not sure how well it would work on the iPod Touches. I haven't tested it with Anne's iPod Touch. I need to do that, but it works very well on the iPhone. But yeah, it's free for anybody in the iOS store. It's a free app.
And what's the name of it again, please?
It's called VizWiz, VIZWIZ. It would work on the iPad 2, not on the iPad 1, because you need a camera. So yeah, it would work on your iPad, but it will work on your iPhone, Glenn. So you're set. Unless you've switched to Android, perhaps. No. I'm just checking. Let me explain.
That's another Saturday session.
Why I'm picking on. I should explain why I'm picking on Glenn. Glenn used to be my boss back in the day. So I have the right to, well, I think I have the right to pick on him mercilessly. But I'll try and restrain myself. Okay, so that was VizWiz.
Question: how hard is it to aim the camera?
Well, occasionally what I did is I actually, and I've done this with a couple different things, I will actually put the camera against the object and then pull it back a little bit to sort of hopefully get focus in. Now, what VizWiz will do is if you send it to a web worker and the picture is blurry, they will tell you, hey, the picture is blurry, move the camera. So, because they can't see it, so they're going to say, hey, move the camera and retake the picture. So, but I've gotten pretty good results with it by putting the camera against the object I'm trying to take a picture of and then moving it away about maybe 5 or 6 inches to maybe get full focus. With the camera, it's going to be a little bit of a guessing game, but like I said, with web workers, they'll tell you that the picture is blurry.
If once it hits the site, is there only one person that responds, or are you going to get multiple?
Repeat the question, Mark.
Glenn was wondering if when you submit it to the web workers, do you get only one response or do you get multiples? In my experience, I've only gotten one. So yeah, I've only gotten one response.
You could get a couple.
Yeah.
It's a fairly sophisticated system to prioritize questions. Because I
Close.
you can
Back arrow.
imagine
Great
the
description
people
of
that are
basic
getting
functions
paid
and
by
functions
question
and reading them.
are answering a lot of questions. So
Close.
you want to make sure that the response time is quick. So they prioritize the question. Somebody can answer it. A third or second or third person can answer it, but it'll lose its priority in the queue, and oftentimes you'll only get one or two answers.
I've only gotten one in my experience. I may have to kill my speech because I keep getting mentioned.
Close. Button.